Okay, we're ready to start placing our adaptive column. So because I'm restarting the video, I'm going to have to actually grab that column again. So I'm going to go to Create, Component. The column was the last thing we imported is coming up at the top of the list. And let's just zoom in here. And now once again, it's a little hard to see the grid systems, but I'm going to come in one tick, in both directions and place the base of the column and then the midpoint of the column. I'm going to hold the Shift and the mouse button down, center mouse button, and I'm going to come in and try and place some supporting columns. So I want to kind of catch these at the bottom of this truss system and spread them out like that. And let's just rotate around to see what we've got here. That looks pretty good. So let's go over to the other side here. And once again, one tick in up to that next grid, which is really difficult to see. So I'm just going to rotate it a little bit until I can see that one part of the grid. And then once again, I want to come in and grab the base of these trusses. This one's a little smaller. Well, it looks pretty good too. And I'll come around to the other side here. And 1, 2, and then roll up. And then grab a couple of points at the bottom of the trusses. That looks pretty good. And then let's do the last one. Once again, I have a little hard time seeing that. All right, I think I've got all 4 in place. We'll go ahead and save that. And let's actually look at it from level 1. And let's just do a camera view of it. So I'll go to View, grab the camera, kind of shoot back just to see what we've got here. And I think that looks pretty good. Next thing we'll do is we'll start to load it into an actual project file so we can start to build a little bit of context around it. Now I do notice, and I guess one of the things I could address here is some of these bases aren't exactly perfectly level. And if we were to go back to the column, one of the things that we could do here is, let me get to a 3D view, is this reference point. If I was to come into that circle itself, you'll notice, I'm hoping it'll say, there we go. It orients to the XYZ axis. And if we select here, that's the instance of it, but we could do it to the host system, which is what we're placing it in. So I'm going to click Apply to that. And then I'm going to load that back into the project. And it's going to repopulate with that same column. And then if we go to that 3D view, we now have the bases are sitting really nice, but we've added this little kind of twist into the column, which I think is kind of unattractive. And it's mostly because of the way we place the column. So what I'm going to do is, let's go back to this. I'm going to select this point. I'm going to go back to the instance XYZ and load that back into the project. Overwrite the existing values. And then we'll go back to that 3D view. And we don't have those twists any longer in it. The only problem is we have a little bit of kind of like a, I don't know, a misalignment of the bases sitting on the plane. Although they don't look all that bad. So I think this is pretty good for an entry-level kind of look at a structural adaptive column in a structural truss system. So like I said, next we'll look at importing this into a context file.